Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are coming to you live on Facebook. Kindly share with your family and your friends. Today we are talking about a very powerful subject, parenting. And to help us go deeper into parenting styles is an acknowledged wife, mother, author of books. She's a born-again Christian. She's a life coach, a mentor, and professionally trained in many other fields. Join us wherever you are. God is going to bless you. Welcome so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Festus.
Yeah.
We will be talking about parenting styles today. Why parenting styles? It is because, of course, we are not the same. We are different. The way you handle things is not the way the other person does. The way you like parent your children is not the way the other parent does. But these are tested styles that have been researched and have been seen to guide parents on how they can be able to guide their children, even to become better people in the society. So we will be talking about parenting, the 4 parenting styles. The first one is authoritative style, the second and the other one will be permissive parenting, and then there is neglectful parenting. Yeah, so maybe continue to expound more on them, and apart from that, we will also explain with each particular style, the kind of a children it's able to bring out in terms of behavior. Yeah.
All right. All right. There you have it, viewers. Today we are looking at the parenting styles, the 4 types or the 4 styles of parenting. You don't want to move away from this show. We are here for you and for that. So before we look at these styles of parenting, in a general look, which ones are so evident in our Kenyan society?
Okay, I wouldn't want to spill the beans before we start the topic, because what is, of course, as we explain them, everyone will be able to fit themselves where. So it has to do with how responsive you are to your children, and how much allowance do you give to your child, because the styles have to do with how much space you give to the child, even as you guide them. So each style will be explained on how much space the parent is able to give the child, even as they guide them. Because remember, although we call children, remember these are humans with temperaments, with guidelines. This is not a person who comes empty. There is a statement that people say that a child is an empty slate, that you can write on anything you want. To some extent, I want to believe in it, but in some, it is not true. Because remember, a person comes with traits and temperaments that are inborn. So it is not an empty slate that you write on anything you want. So yes, there are some values that we can instill in the child, but it is not empty. So although we are parenting, we have to also understand the temperaments of a child, the traits, the environment the child is in, because all children are not the same. There are those that are easygoing, there are those ones that are tough, there are those ones that are self-driven. So the parenting styles, if you like stick to a specific one and you're not adjustable according to your child's behavior and character and traits, what is going to happen? You might hurt that child, or you bring up a child who is not able to be self-driven. or a child that will always be waiting for you to decide or make decisions for them. So, of course, as we are also talking about parenting, it is important to remember those other dynamics that make the behavior of a child. So as we talk about this, remember, viewers, that we are not saying that this specifically is what makes the best of a child. Yeah, so it's good to have that disclaimer even as we start.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're giving a guideline
Yes.
and a guidance on what we can do. Because from what I hear, the counselor and the life coach and our mentor telling us is that you may apply this one style of parenting to one of your children, yet it doesn't fit in another.
Yeah.
That's true? All right, let's get started.
Yeah, so we will start with the authoritative. The reason as to why I'm emphasizing on the authoritative and remember these are almost the same names. Yeah. So the first one is the authoritative parent. The authoritative parent is the parent who is hands-on. This parent is there. This parent will give the child an opportunity to ask questions, and every single rule this parent gives, they give the reason for the rules. So they are responsive. They give the child an opportunity to ask questions for the rules set. This is an authoritative parent. And they are hands-on on everything the child is doing. They will not leave them to choose what to do and what not to do, but they give them space to make decisions for themselves. So they are highly responsive, but they are not demanding. They are not highly demanding on the child. So the child, the other one is authoritarian. Now, the authoritarian parent is the boss. The child has no say on anything that happens. The child is not given an opportunity to ask questions. So the parent is the one who understands what is supposed to be done. So the child cannot ask the parent any question. So what I said is law. Most of us African parents, we have that, we go on the extreme, on the authoritarian, because I don't know whether growing up, your parents used to give you an opportunity to ask questions. I don't know.
Not really.
I don't know. So we grew up with parents who were authoritarians. Their word is law. It should not be asked questions. You should not ask anything from them. So an authoritarian parent is highly demanding, but in terms of being responsive to the child, it is not on the higher side. So they don't allow the child an opportunity to choose for themselves, or even a leeway of asking the question, why? Why am I not supposed to come home by 7 o'clock? Why am I not supposed to watch that particular movie? Why am I supposed not to have this particular friend? So it is, if I said no, it is no. But that's an authoritarian parent. Now, another parent is now a permissive parent. Remember, the word is permissive. So the permissive parent is highly, is not responsive, and they are equally not demanding of the child anything. So the permissive parent is this parent that when the child asks for something, they just be released to them. It is a button, and you press the button and what you want is given. These are the same parents that when we get to the supermarkets, the child is rolling on the floor because they were not bought for a sweet. Because the child has never known the word no in the parent. So the parent gives everything they ask. The child asks. So again, it is also not equally a very good parenting style, because what happens is that the child is not able to know limits of issues. Like, how far can I go? Because everything they ask is given.
Everything.
Yes.
As we continue to share on these styles of parenting, kindly get on Facebook and Karambu Mwangi. We are live there, already sharing these powerful insights about parenting, the styles of parenting. You can ask us any question. Anne is here. She's available for any question to ask during this time. Kindly text us the questions that you have. And which, you can also tell us your views. Which parenting style do you think fits you most? Where do you fit? Where do you fit? Kindly tell us, and we will appreciate. So that is a permissive parenting style.
Yeah. So then there is the fourth one, which is the neglectful parenting style. Neglectful. Remember, the word here is negligence. So this is a parent who is not present in the life of the child, completely not present. Either they are not mentally able to be present, or they have just chosen not to be part of the child's life. Or maybe a parent may be an alcoholic and not present completely in the life of the child. So here the child is left to fend for themselves. So it's like the child's behavior and character is just nurtured by the environment or the society. So this is a completely neglectful parent. They are not present. So they are not, there is those two aspects of responsiveness and demandingness is completely not present. So the child is like, they will just guide themselves. Yeah.
Wow, that's what we have. And looking at all authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, and neglective, do they have any negative impact to our children, or can we just pick any and run with it?
Now, remember, as we were sharing, I don't know whether we've been able to realize that the three are not good. The three are not good. The very first one is the only one that is giving the child space to be themselves. So all these others are not good parenting styles. The authoritarian is not good, because remember, this child has no say. So you make a child almost a robot. So it's like, you have to be me, what I want. There is no space for being allowed to be me. So like we see these are the same parents that even will push a child to do a certain course in school simply because this is what I want. And these are the same children now, once they finish, they tell parents, this is your degree, I did my your course, now I want to go do my course. Because you never allowed that child an opportunity to choose for themselves. So the authoritarian, no, the permissive, it is not good, because this is extremely permissive. It's like you are not setting any boundaries for the child. So they become anything they want. They do everything they want. They can get anything they want. So there are no limits in their life. So then again, that one is not good. The neglectful, definitely. Every child requires nurture. Every child requires direction. There is no child who can be able, like, imagine leaving a 2-year-old to fend for themselves. Remember, they are the ones like cook for themselves. They're the ones to wash utensils for themselves. It's like a world where it's almost like bringing up a child like a wild animal. I think even wild animals nurture. Yes, they nurture their young ones. So a neglectful parent, again, is not the best. But we have them in the society. Every single parenting style, it is in our society.
And it's been applied.
Yes. People are applying them, maybe knowingly or unknowingly. So we emphasize on how can we be able to get into an authoritative parent.
Yeah.
Because this is, remember, this is the parenting style that when this researcher was doing the research, realized that this is the one that is able to bring a holistic child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Beautiful. Viewers, we want to be again very clear. We are not authoritatively saying you pick which type of parenting style, but we are suggesting in this show that this type of a style is best, can suit you because of the impact that we have. And kindly give us the questions that you have. Our guest is a wife, she's a mother, she's worked with many people. Kindly text us your questions, we're going to answer them right away here. And we want to get into these questions. Of course, in a family setup, we have, let's pick a setup where we have both parents.
Yes.
Let's say we have both the dad and the mother.
Yeah.
And the mother feels like, this is what is right for my kids. I'll bring up my kids this way.
Yes.
I'll use this style. And the daddy feels, no. No, I think our son will work better if we use this style.
Yeah.
Let's say they're conflicting between two. What should happen?
Now, this is not a case scenario. These are things that happen in our families. They happen a lot. And what happens, because children, as I said, are not, they're not people that are not functioning. They understand. They know what is happening. So they're able to see when there is conflict between the mother and the father. They're able to see when you are not agreeing. So, in fact, matters parenting, matters discipline. Yeah. A mother and a father, you have to sit down and agree on how you will do the parenting. Because if you're not agreeing, the children are able to understand that the two of you are not speaking the same language. And and what happens is that they will always, when they want things done, they will rush to the permissive parent. And of course, they will gang up to make sure that this, because they know, dad, once we tell him this, he will just do it like pap. So they will, when you are not able to agree and speak one voice as mother and father, there will always be that challenge. So it is key to agree together. How do we parent our children as one? The voice has to be one. Even if your parenting styles are different, remember we are advocating that we all become authoritative parents. We are trying our best. How can we be able to get this one that at least looks better? Remember, in our African tradition, we are mostly authoritative, authoritarians. We are the boss. We are the one. I mean, we are the ones who are to say what the child has to become, which is has its own disadvantage, especially on the child. Yes, as the parent, you will be in charge, but it has adverse effects on the side of the child. So maybe we can understand a little bit on what kind of a child, in terms of behavior, is going to be produced by an authoritative parent. One, the first thing that happens to this child of an authoritative parent is that this child will have high self-esteem. They will have high self-value because they will have an opportunity of choosing for themselves. Two, these children have lower behavior issues, even in school, because or in the society, because they have had an opportunity. There is someone who is monitoring their behavior. There is someone who keeps telling them, no, you cannot go this far. This is the far you can go. And then they have understood the consequence of wrong behavior, because an authoritative parent gives the child an opportunity to see the consequences of behavior. So when you do this, remember, this is the responsiveness aspect of an authoritative parent. So they give them the opportunity to know, when you do this, these are the consequences. Even at the point of giving the rule, the parent is able to explain the rule to the child. So the child is able to make informed decisions. Another one is that the child is able to interact with others better. Because remember, they have been given negotiation power by the parent. Because they have an opportunity to say, no, I don't want to do that. What do you think about this? They have an opportunity. So they socially, they are able to interact well. Another point is that, of course, they will have lesser delinquent behavior. The issues we talk about are issues of drug and substance abuse, issues of sexual immorality. Remember, all these things the child has been taught to understand. Behavior has consequences. So they will always be thinking, if I do this, what will be the consequence? And remember, these are things that happen when the child is very young. They grow understanding that every behavior has consequences. Yeah, so that parenting style then has that advantage, that it makes a holistic child. The child is able to perform even better in school because their mind is open. Now, an authoritative parent, an authoritarian parent, one, it produces a child with low self-esteem. They have low self-worth because they will not believe in themselves. The parent decides for them everything that happens. So they don't know how to navigate through life on their own.
Or the parent has the final
Yes.
say.
Even if I know what is right, my mom will always know what I'm supposed to do. So why choose the right thing? So it's like the parent has to choose for the child everything. Two, it also destroys their social life. They are not able to interact with others well because they have fear. They are wondering, am I doing the right thing? Am I going to affect that person? Is this person going to hate back on me? So that one also has an effect on their social life. Another challenge is now this child also will have delinquent behavior. The delinquent behavior, we are talking about getting involved in crime, because this outside of home is the only opportunity they have to be them. Because the father, the mother here, they are the boss. So it's like they are on top of their end. Remember, every human being is created to become, to thrive, to bring out the potential in them. So when this potential is suppressed, what is going to happen is that they will look for space to release these energies. And that is when the children, most of the times, will release these energies now into drug and substance abuse. Remember, these are not things parents know. I'll make sure that you will never know I drink beer. You will never know that I have those sexual relationships. Because I know as an authoritative parent, authoritarian parent, that is trouble. So they will hide them. They will do these behaviors outside of home. And when they come home, they are good parents. They are good children. But an authoritative parent gives a child an opportunity to do wrongs because they have taught them the consequence of behavior. I don't know whether we are getting it.
We're getting there. And it's coming out very clearly that the authoritative parenting style, I don't want to say it outshines the others, but it looks better.
Yes.
It looks better because, as you say, you've put it very well, that you've given the child a chance to express themselves. You've also gone ahead and taught them that these are the consequences if you did this and that. So as a child, as you go, you know, if I got into this, daddy said, mommy, these are the consequences. But on the other side, authoritarian parent, they have the final say. So even if I have anything good for myself, I'll keep quiet. I can't do it because mommy, daddy, they'll say no. And let's look at the permissive style. What's wrong with that?
The permissive style creates this person who has no boundaries in life. One, they lack boundaries. Two, again, their self-esteem is affected because this child does not know what is wrong and what is right. So they live a life, almost a reckless life. So most of the times, these children will get into trouble because it is only outside that they start hearing control. In fact, the first place they hear don't is in class.
Okay.
It is in school or in church or when they are playing with other children. Because in the house, there is nobody who tells them don't. These are the children you find, like when you visit in homes, they are stepping on top of tables and they are jumping and doing all manner of things, and they throw tantrums at anything simply because when they were younger. And remember, when we are talking about younger, we are talking about as from the time the child is able to understand that this is mom, this is dad. So even at the point of breastfeeding, you still need to start instilling values and saying no to things and explaining, because a child is able to hear and understand as early as that.
Okay.
That is a topic for another day, because we will also talk about even speaking to our children when they're in the womb, because they hear. Yeah. So parenting starts very early. So a permissive parenting style is going to produce a child who does not understand themselves. So they will always get into trouble. These are the children definitely who will end up in crime.
The permissive.
Yes, because they have never heard the word no or don't.
This is amazing. Parents, kindly just follow us and let's grow up our children together. They are our responsibility. Thank you so much, Tabby, for joining. Thank you so much. Give us your questions, please. We're able to answer them here. This is Parenting Styles with Anne Karambu. Awesome. Let's look at the neglective parenting style.
Now, the neglectful parenting style, remember, this parent is not completely present in the life of the child. So the child will grow, one, without knowing themselves. They will grow with rejection. They will not be able to even interact with people. These children don't understand love. In fact, they grow up not completely knowing what is love, because they have never experienced it. Again, they also suffer a lot of rejection because they consider that the parent was not able to be present because they hated them. Regardless of the reason as to why that parent is not present. It may be work. Remember, it is not only the alcoholic, even work. A parent may decide that I'll be working outside the country and they leave the children with a house help. That is a neglectful parent. Because parenting is not only providing the basic needs, food, shelter. In fact, those are secondary. The primary needs of a child is nurture, love, care, and being able to be nurtured into a person. The things we give to children are not as important as those basics, because those are the basic needs of a human being. Love, protection, care. A parent maybe who is working away from home, even a whole week and only coming over the weekend, that parent is not present. They are neglectful.
So it's about being present.
And I like emphasizing on this. When I talk about presence, I don't mean babysitting. Presence, you can be present for only 10 minutes and you're present, because you will be able to cater for the needs of that child in those 10 minutes. You can be, because you are intentional. Remember, anytime we are talking about parenting, it has to be intentional. Because remember, we will have to work. We will not stop working because we are parents.
Yeah.
We will not lose our jobs because we are parents. But we can be able to be intentional. Those few hours that we fight with our children. Even this parent who is walking away, who is working away for a whole week, they can become authoritative parents even when they are away. So it is not really presence, physical presence. We are not talking about babysitting, because babysitting is not parenting. Yeah. We are talking about intentional presence. That yes, I know for a whole week I will not be around. So I'll make sure by the time I am leaving, I have my 5 children, I'll have to have guided them before I go. Do this, do the other, make sure you behave like this when I'm away. And when I'm back, I get feedback of how they behaved when I was away. That is a present parent, although they are away physically. You understand?
Yes.
But you can be present and absent at the same time. So neglectful parenting is like I have just allowed the child to grow. I am not present. And these children, of course, will have challenges of knowing themselves, even understanding, interacting with others, issues of low self-esteem. They again have those delinquent behavior because they don't know the limit of how far I can go. Now, unfortunately, although I may be a very good parent, my child is going to meet with children of all these parents. The neglectful, the permissive, the authoritarian, and the authoritative. So, as much as, yes, I may be a very good parent, it is going to impact on my child. Because my child is going to interact with this other child or this other person who was not brought up well. So we have to become intentional in our parenting styles and make sure that we are present. Even, and specifically really is not present in terms of gifts. Remember, we do a lot of giving presents to our children rather than giving them being present for them. And being present, again, is not being physically present and sitting with them there. It is being present to meet their needs. Needs in terms of love, kindness, being gentle on them, being able to become, do you know the needs of your children? When they are sad, can you be able to tell that my daughter, my son is sad today? Yeah, so those are the needs that matter most in the life of a child, not really the financial provisions that we give them. And I am not saying that they are not necessary.
These are the dynamics of parenting. And you'll be joining us every Tuesday. We'll be coming live on this very show, looking at the dynamics of parenting and many other things. How to mold your child into becoming that person you've always seen in that child. I want us to come to a close. But before then, there are 2 things you've mentioned. One in very particular that you've explained well what presence, being present means. It doesn't mean neglecting other responsibilities. But now it appears that when it comes to proper parenting, some of these needs and essentials, we call them basic, they are really not. Like I've provided, I've paid the school fees, they got a good house, I've done a good shopping, then I can now travel and marry outside. I leave my kids with my house help. But I've provided everything. You have to be there as a person. How about that?
Now, remember, we are people from inside out, not outside in.
Please do that to our viewers.
I don't know whether we got it well, but I am not the person you see physically. I am the person inside. It is from who I am inside that makes Anne. So a child is made from within. The moment we've been able to handle their temperaments, we've been able to moderate them to the level that they can be able to interact with other people well, we have made a responsible person. The moment we have taught them how to speak to other people respectively, we have made them a responsible person. The moment we have been able to teach them how to nurture and take care of their body, we have taught them to become a responsible person. Those things are not taught in school. They are not bought with money. They are not, you don't pay school fees for them.
Yeah.
And that is what makes a person.
That's what makes a person.
Yes. How do you love people? It can only be modeled. How do you respect people? It can only be modeled from the house, from the home. How do you relate with other people? There are people who are not able to handle emotions. Like, I mean, because I am angry, I break everything in the house. That one is not taught in school. It can only can be taught from the home. As young, as little as the child is, when they start throwing tantrums all over, the parent is able to monitor and tell them, no, you cannot do that, no, you can't do that. So you are in that we nurture them on how to handle emotions. So those are not things we buy with money. We cannot buy them from the supermarket. So you realize parenting really, yes, it is a subsidiary. The education, the clothing, the vacations we take our children for, they are subsidiaries. They are things, yes, they're important, but really they are not the core of a human being. Yeah. So parenting has to be narrowed to who is this person in terms of respect, in terms of being able to be kind, being able to be people of integrity. Remember, integrity cannot be taught in school. Like, we are having a challenge in Kenya of corruption. Corruption somehow is taught from the home, where we tell our children, when you pass your exams, I am going to buy for you something. So they know every good behavior. Yes, it is good to nurture behavior and to encourage good behavior, but the moment you make the child understand that any good deed is to be paid with money, already you are teaching corruption in the home. The way also we behave as parents, are we trustworthy? Are we people of integrity? Because these are things that are picked in the family. When like we lie openly before children, those are issues of integrity. Those ones cannot be taught in school. Yeah.
Wow, great. There you have it. And that's all what we have for today. But before then, I want you to give our viewers the parting shot about parenting tips, styles, briefly. Then you'll be joining us every Tuesday. Kindly tell us your parting shot about today's discussion.
Yeah, so thank you very much, viewers, even for following us on Facebook. We are really excited that you are able to follow us and follow our discussion. I ask that even after this, you can continue posting those questions and even those other topics you would want us to interact in terms of parenting. Remember, our desire is to be able to prepare the next generation to become a responsible people. So anything, any knowledge that we can be able to share with one another that can be able to make our children responsible people in the society. Because as we speak, we are almost in a crisis. We are having issues of drug and substance abuse. The nation is almost on its knees with the issue of teenage pregnancies. How can we be able to handle these challenges as parents? Is there anything we can do? You can post your suggestions there. Is there anything we can be able to do together and be able to make our children more responsible adults, because within the next 10, 15 years, they will be in the position we are in.
Yeah.
So how will they become? What kind of parents will they also be? So we need to desire and make sure, and read widely. Let us continue consulting with one another, and of course become a blessing to our children. So thank you so much, viewers, for having time to listen to us, and even the ones that will be able to listen to us later. God bless you so much. Let us catch up next on Tuesday next week with other wonderful topics on parenting and those other topics, all those other topics that touch the family. God bless you so much.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much again for joining us, and thank you so much. We are having every good stuff for you. Your children are going to become what you intend them to become. Thank you, and God bless you again.
Thank you.